So, unfortunately, Kobe Bryant is no longer with us. Yesterday, there was some very tragic events, and Kobe Bryant and his daughter didn't make it out of a helicopter crash. It's very sad. He was arguably one of the best, if not one of the greatest players to ever play in the NBA. No matter maybe how you feel about him or not, he was one of the best ever. He was a very young man still, and it's sad to see, people leave when they could have given so much more. Now, you would think most people could come together and be decent people and say, hey, this is a sad day. This poor guy, his family is suffering. Why don't we just kind of come together, and if we're going to talk about it, talk about the great things that he did. That's what most decent people would do. However, most people aren't decent. So minutes after the announcement was made and that he had passed away, a blue checkmark who works for the Washington Post decided to post this, literally minutes after the man left the world. She decides, I'm going to go on here and I'm going to post this story. It's a story that's a few years old. He was never convicted of anything, and it was kind of a whole shady situation. And, I don't believe anything without evidence. But, of course, we're going to go ahead right now and bring this up. She deleted it, by the way, but that's pretty disgusting. And a lot of people talk about, these blue check marks and these Twitter Puritans and these NPCs and how they're terrible people. And this has got to be one of the best examples of them being terrible I think I've ever seen out of all the videos I've ever made. This is pretty disgusting what she did. She posted this literally minutes after anything had happened to Kobe Bryant. And I think that that's really, really disgusting. But blue check mark, Washington Post. This is why people don't like blue check marks. This is why people don't like journalists. They do this all the time when there's a tragedy or when something happens with somebody. And like there was a guy who did something for charity recently. It was at a football game. So what happened was there was a guy at a college football game. He was holding a sign, and it said, I need beer money. And you can send it here. So people ended up sending a lot of money. He raised over $1 million, and he gave it all to charity. It's a very commendable thing to do, a very nice thing. So what does a blue check mark decide to do? Well, dig through all of his old tweets and found some nasty stuff that he had said when he was 16 years old. He's 24 at the time. This happened October 1st, 2019. He was 16 at the time when he had said some pretty shady things. But, you're 16 years old. You're different. You're a kid. This was an excuse for the checkmark reporter to destroy his life and to overshadow what he had done. And I believe a lot of the matches from Budweiser, they were going to do a big thing with him because it was Budweiser that was teaming up with him. And they decided they weren't going to do it. Or no, it was Busch Beer that did it. So the beer company decided that they didn't want anything to do with him. And because of this, people ended up getting hurt and didn't get charity money. These are the kind of people that run our media. Terrible, trashy people. I mean, I think the fact that you're doing this right after he had passed away is pretty disgusting. So here's what she said. She tweeted this out. Kobe Bryant's disturbing replicas, the DNA evidence, the accuser, the story, and the half confession. And here we go. Here's some follow-up tweets she had to that. Well, that was eye-opening to have 10,000 people literally who have committed and commented and emailed to me with abuse and death threats. Please take a moment to read the story, which was written 3+ years ago and not by me. Any public figure is worth remembering in their totality. Can't you even take a minute to let people breathe and to just let them mourn? I mean, what's even the point of this other than get attention? And I don't believe any of these D threats either. Not without seeing them. I think you just got a lot of slack and hate. I mean, look at the ratio there. 3,000 comments to 489 likes. Obviously, people didn't agree with what she had to say. But because she got blowback on it, well, now she's trying to turn herself into some kind of victim, which I always find even more disgusting. She doubles down on it, by the way, and says, people are responding with rage and threats towards me. Someone who didn't even write the piece but found it well reported speaks volumes about the pressure people come under to stay silent in these cases. People are mad because a lot of people had just lost a hero. And instead of maybe just not saying anything, maybe you ever heard the meaning too soon? It was a little too soon. You did it for attention, thinking that, everyone was going to rise up and praise you because it's woke Twitter, and you fail to realize attacking a very beloved man who, it wasn't just him that passed away. It's also his daughter. It's pretty disgusting. She's deleted these, and I guess she's been suspended, but it wasn't due to these tweets. The Washington Post suspended her for something else. I saw people reporting that she was suspended for this. That's not what happened. She was actually suspended for a follow-up tweet where it showed emails. So Washington Post, showing that they have no soul, decides to let this behavior fly. And it's not just her doing this. A quick key search of words shows you that a lot of people are saying some really nasty stuff right now. And I find it pretty disgusting that this is acceptable and that people like this. Now, they're not getting a lot of traction, these nasty things, but it's just the fact that, like, a man and his daughter, even on that level, pass away. You don't think about the grieving family. You say things like this. Here's another blue check mark. In before the eulogies begin, Kobe Bryant was an effing rapist. So let's go ahead and throw that. Another blue check mark with no soul. Very nice. So really disgusting. Just shows you how people just have any kind of remorse or understanding of other people and just letting people grieve. Instead, they want to just do nasty stuff like this. So I find this very disgusting, and I feel very bad for his family and people that loved him and the people that he loved. Very sad day, very sad news, and it's really disheartening to see people treat him like this and his family. It's very, very disgusting. So anyway, this video is under 10 minutes, so it's not going to make much. I wouldn't even monetize it, to be honest, but I do believe that if videos aren't monetized, then they don't go very far. So what I'm going to do is whatever this video makes, I'm just going to donate it to a charity. I don't know what yet. I'll see if Kobe Bryant has a foundation or a charity or something. And, whatever 10 or 15 bucks this video makes, I'll just donate it to that. I think that's the proper thing to do in something like this. So anyway, I'm sorry for his family. I think this is terrible. And it's horrible that people do stuff like this. And this is how they choose to act minutes after the man passes away. Disgusting. Anyway, like, subscribe. Make sure you share the video. Make sure you subscribe. Subscribe if you're new. Make sure you're still subscribed, by the way. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.